You know what time it is. It's time for another episode of the 7 and a Hook Podcast, the world's premier sports betting podcast. Your source for the best information and insight when it comes to sports wagering. We cover it all because you bet on it all. So let's head up to the studio and get this show rolling.
Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the 7 and a Hook Podcast. I am Brooksie, the Irish Insider. Hey, hope everybody's having a great day. It's Friday, heading towards the weekend. We got March Madness upon us. Man, oh man, it's going to be a great night and a great weekend of basketball action, especially if you're a men's college basketball fan, which we all are here at the 7 and a Hook Podcast. Hey, before we get rolling, got to always mention our socials. If you're new to the show, take a look at the website, 7andahook.com, right in front of you. And all of our socials, the number 7 and a Hook. It's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And don't forget to go over to YouTube and search 7 and a Hook Podcast. Give us a subscribe. All of our previous content is there. A lot of good information to check out. Okay, quick announcement. As we've been talking, that we took our show on the road a few weeks ago. Matter of fact, it was Super Bowl Sunday. First time we did a remote show, and that was at The Boat in Dracut, Massachusetts. Well, the owners there, they've invited us back. So March 20th, mark your calendars. March 20th. It's a Sunday. The 7 and a Hook Podcast, taking the show again on the road. We're going to be broadcasting around 1 p.m. Eastern. Come on down and join us. Sports wagering talk. They've got great signature cocktails. They've got delicious food. And you know what? They've certainly got some of the best friendly and courteous staff in New England, man. The Boat, 294 Tingsboro Road in Dracut, Massachusetts. Check them out online. That's boathousedracut.com. We're going to be there right in the middle of March Madness. It's going to be a lot of fun. So interacting with the crowd just like we did the audience last time we were there. So certainly looking forward to getting back there. So all right, so today, folks, it's Free for All Friday. That's what we like to call it. And I'm going to be joined shortly by my partner in crime tonight, and that's Jimmy D. D for Double Down. When Jimmy gives you a pick, you better go play it. So tonight we're going to focus a little bit on NCAA. Yeah, NCAA, I can talk. Some NBA, and then we're going to go, I think we're going to end with a little NHL. Again, we're a little free-for-all. We're going to jump around a little bit. So let me dial up Jimmy D, get him on the line. All right, there we go, dialing out. All right, looks like we got him. Hey, Jimmy D, you're on 7 and a Hook. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Brooksie, how are you tonight?
You know what, man? It is Friday. Just like I was telling our listeners, it's Free for All Friday, and we're going to be breaking down some NCAA men's basketball right in the middle, right before March Madness. All the conference championships going on. Little NBA and a little NHL. Hey, how's March Madness been treating you so far?
A lot of hits and misses. This has been a real tough. I'm really looking forward to it, but the basketball this year is going to be really tough there in March Madness. I think it's going to be we're seeing it. Some of the conference games, they're kind of unpredictable this year.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a couple teams that you consider favorites, Gonzaga, Duke, things of that. But again, I don't think either of those two are a lock to win the entire tournament. So I think you're right. This is going to be a tough tournament to cap, but certainly looking forward to it. Selection Sunday is this Sunday, so we'll see what the brackets look like. What is it, 6 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern on Sunday? That's when the real handicapping starts, Jimmy D.
Yeah, I know we were talking a couple of weeks ago about the Baylor Bears, and we thought they were hitting their stride. And then what did they do to us? They lose to, what was it, Oklahoma?
Yeah. Yep.
And kind of a shocking game. I thought it was a shocking game. Yeah, you really got to. This is going to be a tough season for the mock men down there in Vegas that are predicting these games. This is a tough one, I think. This is one of the toughest ones I can remember.
Yeah, no.
Predicting wins.
No, I agree. I think there's a lot of really good teams that may have gone under the radar, and some of these top-seeded teams. I think there's going to be some surprise upsets. So I'm really, really looking forward to Selection Sunday, and then the fun begins, and then it's okay. Let's a lot of sleepless nights, but it'll be enjoyable. Certainly be enjoyable. So all right, so Free for All Friday. We're going to get this show rolling for everybody, and Jimmy D, we're going to start with. Let's go right to it. Let's do some NCAA men's basketball. What do you got on your spotlight sheet?
Well, the game I got my eye on tonight, I believe it's an 8:30 start down there in the Atlantic AC Boardwalk, Atlantic City Boardwalk. It's a conference that not on prime time, not on Broadway. The Metro Atlantic Conference. I get Quinnipiac Bobcats going up against the St. Peter's Peacocks.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, not a prime time game, but a game that I think you can make some money on. Quinnipiac's, lose a record 14-16. Their last 10 games, they're 3-7. Though they're coming on a little mild win streak. They've won the last 2. The game they just won was against Siena Saints. They won 77-71. And they're going up against, I think, the favorites, the St. Pete Peacocks. They're 17-11. Their last 10, they've been 7-3. To get to this part of the tournament, they beat Fairfield 77-63. Both these teams did match up back in early February. The Peacocks outperformed Quinnipiac 83-74. Both teams that led by their guards. Quinnipiac's got Matt Balak. He's a 15-point average guy, and Peacocks they get Darryl Banks. He's a guard as well. He gives you about, I think, 12 points a game. So. Maybe not a prime time, game, but a game, like I said, I think the guys. These are the games you make the money at.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking the line. I'm taking the money line. I'm taking St. Pete, and I'm also taking the over. The over is 134. I think these teams are going to go over 134. So I like St. Pete and the 134 over.
Yeah, nice play. Yeah, again, folks, this is when. Cappers are really, putting pen to paper, because who's picking this game other than maybe, or watching this game, Jimmy D, other than maybe the family members, right?
Right.
But you know what? There's a line on it for a reason, and these are the games that you and I and Easy Money, Eric LaFleche, and Dougie Betts, or the other hosts, these are the games we try to find, okay?
Yep.
So that's, what did you say? It's an 8:30 start tonight, so that's a couple hours?
Yeah, 8:30 down there in AC.
Okay.
Like I said, I like the money line. I like St. Pete taking the win, and like I said, I like the over at 134.
All right. So St. Pete's in the over 134. Gotcha. All right, I got one game tonight on my spotlight sheet, and this is more of a heavyweight bout. Yours might be undercard, but this game, I don't know. I couldn't get away from it. And this is in the ACC semifinal, all right? And the ACC tournament this year is taking place in Brooklyn, New York. You got Virginia Tech taking on North Carolina, okay? Now, North Carolina, Jimmy D, they're favored by 2.5, okay? Points total set at 139 and a hook, okay? So Virginia Tech overall on the season 21-12. So far in the ACC conference, they've had to play 2 games. They squeaked by Clemson 76-75. I had Clemson in that game. They didn't have to win. They got, I think they were getting 6 points. I had Clemson, but Virginia Tech did win that game. Move on. They then took on Notre Dame and knocked off the Irish 87-80. The Hokies playing some pretty good basketball lately. They've won 6 out of 7. Including the tournament win. So 70 points a game versus letting up 62. Now, Jimmy D, you and I were talking about the Hokies last night, doing some show prep. In the coaches poll, the API, whatever, they're ranked about 37th. Okay, now they're 5th, I think, in the ACC. I think they're a bubble team, right? I mean, I don't know. Do you think they're in the tournament, or you think they got to win a couple more games here?
I think you nailed it. I think when you look up a definition of a bubble team, I think you got Virginia Tech staring right back at you.
Yeah.
They are a bubble team, but if they don't, they're going to make the NIT, obviously.
Right.
But we've talked about this in the past, Brooksie. The basketball, I think it's a down year. It's still great basketball. Enjoy it, but it's not a real dominant team. And I don't think the ACC is a top. I mean, they're an upper conference, obviously, but I just you don't have a dominant Duke or a dominant North Carolina or even a dominant Syracuse. But I agree with you. They're a bubble team, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I mean, could they get an invite? Yes. If they don't, I wouldn't be surprised either way. Okay, so North Carolina. Let's look at the Tar Heels. 24-8 overall. Now they're currently ranked 24th in the nation. To me, they're in the tournament, right? I mean, there's no real questions about that. They've had some big signature wins, and obviously most recently ended the season, and they ended Coach K at Duke. His career, his last game coaching at Duke, and they manhandled the Blue Devils 94-81. That's not exactly how the script was supposed to be written, Jimmy D. But the Tar Heels.
When they were back, all the stuff, that was a shocker.
That was a shocker. I mean, but the Tar Heels came to play. I mean, all the emotion was on Duke's side, but they had a good game plan, and I got to give them credit. Now, the Tar Heels averaging just under 79 points a game, letting up 71. Both teams have met twice earlier this season, and North Carolina won both of them, 65-57, and then again 78-68. What's funny is I did a little research, Jimmy D, and I went back 3 years, okay? And a lot of people say, well, you can't beat a team 3 times in a year, right? It doesn't happen. Well, guess what? In college basketball, in the last 3 years, 73% of the time, okay, that teams have met for the third time, and, this is a chance to win the third. 73% of the time, the team does win the game, okay? Now, they only cover 53% of the time. So you got to look at it, okay, if I'm going to play a money line, or do I play the spread in this game? And I broke it down every which way but loose. The spread is 2 and a hook. I think North Carolina is just playing outstanding basketball. If they were going to have a letdown, it would have been after the Duke game, right? Well, in their only game in the ACC tournament, they played Virginia, and they smoked them. You know what I mean? It was 64-43. There was no letdown. Okay, I think North Carolina is focused. I'm gonna lay the 2 and a hook in this game with the Tar Heels. And as far as the total at 139 and a hook, I'm going over. I'm gonna go over 139 and a hook in this game, Jimmy D.
Yeah, I like that.
All right.
Hey, I just gotta. You just brought back a little memory here. We're walking down memory lane. We're talking about the basketball, and it goes with football as well. I think over the past few years, 10, 20 years, we've had these super conferences. But I can remember back when we were in college together, and we used to take the train from Boston down to Madison Square Garden and see the Big East tournament over the weekend. And that was like a great event, and it just got me thinking about how they're playing. The ACC's playing in Jersey, which is Brooklyn, the Barclays Center, whatever it is, and I think things got to grow, and I think it's great with the conferences. But that was a kind of a great event, that Big East tournament down there in Madison Square Garden, and it's kind of too bad that's kind of gone a little bit to the wayside.
Yeah,
so,
I mean that was and. May lightning strike me. Literally last night, Jimmy D, I was talking with my dad about John Bagley, okay? Yeah. And he was a guard for BC in 82, 83, 84, and BC was a really good They had Jay Murphy, one of their big players, big power forward. They went to the Sweet 16 twice, and I believe they went to the Elite 8 in the early 80s. I mean, that was Big East. That was Georgetown, Boston College, St. John. That was awesome basketball back then.
You're talking Patrick Ewing, Chris Mullen.
Yeah.
Who was a kid up there in Syracuse? Earl the Pearl. Was it Washington?
Washington, right? Yeah. So, man.
You got Bill, at Syracuse, and St. John's and Georgetown. There was always a war.
Yeah.
Even the coaches. I mean, the other one left is the kid from Jimmy Boeheim. Whatever, up there in Syracuse. He's the guy left that old, you had Rowley down there in Villanova. Who will ever forget the game? Villanova beating Georgetown. And, that was in the finals.
Right.
I missed the Big East tournament there. That was a big, it was a big weekend for us. We go down there on the weekend.
It was. We had
and watch it down the mat. It was a huge event. But
we had some fun down there. There's no doubt.
It's still, we get now super conferences, and we do have quality teams. It is the money kind of drove this, but it's good. It's all good.
It's all good, right? It's just different times. That's all it is. All right, hey, let's move to let's jump to like I say, free for all Friday. Let's go to the NBA. All right, I'm gonna jump first here. I got my game that I've got spotlighted is it's the Utah Jazz on the road travel to take on the San Antonio Spurs. Now the Jazz favored by 6, points total set at 229 and a hook. Okay, Utah, they come into this game 41-24 overall, 18-14 on the road. 2-2 in their last 4. Most recently, a couple nights ago, they hosted Portland and literally ran them out of the gym, 123-85. Portland, man, what a disappointment they've been this year. Just first half of the season played pretty good. The rest, nightmare, absolute nightmare. And then again, they traded away half their team, so kind of makes sense. Bogdanovich, he's been their go-to guy so far in the last week or so for the Jazz. Been averaging close to 28 points this last 4 or 5 games. Problem is he's out. Got a leg injury. So the hot hand is not on the bench tonight. So they're averaging 113 points a game, letting up 107. Spurs, on the other hand, 25-41 on the season, kind of bottom of the barrel in their division. They're 12-20 at home. Losers 5 out of the last 6. They had a home loss 2 nights ago to Toronto, 119-106. DeJounte Murray, a player that you really like, Jimmy D. You've had him, I think, on a couple prop bets during the season and made some money. Averaging 21 points a game, 9 assists. I mean, this kid he's a superstar, but he's really a superstar in waiting, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be one of he just needs some pieces around him. But keep your eye on this kid. Definitely perennial all-star, I think. Team is averaging 112 points a game, letting up 113. They've met twice already this year. Jazz took the first one, 110-104. Spurs took the second meeting, 128-126. But when these teams play, they play each other tough. There's never really a blowout. I'm going to take the points in this game. I know the Spurs have a bad record, but like I said, when they play the Jazz, they kind of come to play. So I'm going to take the 6 points. As far as the points total set at 229 and a hook, I'm going to look down. I'm going to go under. Jazz obviously missing Bogdanovich, and the Spurs have a few guys that are banged up. So I think it's going to be not a low-scoring game, but I don't think it's going to reach the 230. So give me the points. Give me the 6 with the Spurs and under 229 and a hook, Jimmy D.
I like it. Yeah, I'm looking at the Cleveland-Miami game.
Nice.
Cleveland comes in. They beat the Pacers. Their last game, 127-124. Excuse me. They're 6th in the East. Their last 10 games, they're 4-6, which isn't great. But the kid there, Garland, he had 41 points his last game against the Pacers. He's been pretty good. And then Miami Heat in their last game at home against Phoenix, they were blown out pretty much. They lost 111-90. They got to win tonight. They're in first place in the East. They want to keep that. Their last 10 games, Miami's 7-3. A thing that's going to hurt them a little bit tonight. You got to look at Butler's out. I guess he's sick. That's definitely going to hurt him. But I think Cleveland coming in this game, going to South Beach, they're going to get the South Beach hangover. They've been there a couple of nights, so you imagine. So I think that's going to hurt them. I like Miami in this game, minus the 260. I know it's a steep, but I like that. And I am going the over. It's 210 and a hook. I think they're going to come out big, even without Butler to win this. Tyler Hero, he's averaging 21 points. I think he's kind of a rising star, kind of a secondary rising star. I think they'll and Garland for Cleveland's obviously solid, as well as Jared Allen, the center. He's averaging a double-double for the year, 16 points, 11 rebounds. So that's what I'm going with. I'm also doing a little prop bet here. I like Garland with the over 22 and a hook. It's minus 110. I think he's going to have a big night tonight, especially with Butler, who's from Miami, who's a solid defensive player. He's going to be out. So, I'm taking, like I said, Miami minus the 260, and I'm going the over 210 and a hook.
Gotcha. Hey, all right, Miami's first place, right, in their division?
Yes, first in the East.
First in the East. Okay. Now, right now they're a plus 1,000 to win the NBA championship. They're behind the Bucks, the Brooklyn Nets, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Warriors, and the Phoenix Suns. Are you sold on Miami? Because I still got some question marks. They're a good team, but are they a contender? What do you think?
I think they're a contender, maybe out of the East. I don't see them. I see them if they ever go up against Golden State. There's a lot of issues that they're going to have there.
Yeah.
They're like a lot of teams in the East. They need one more star. I know Brooklyn's got 2 stars, maybe 3. You want to get Simmons.
If you have a plays, right? If you have a plays, man. You know what I mean?
And Kyrie Irving's always gets hurt.
Yeah.
So I think that's and that's just what's his name? I can't think of his name. The kid from Brooklyn, the stud there.
Durant. You're talking about Durant.
Yeah, Durant. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't like to call it Durant, but Durant, Garrett. He's untouchable. I think he's amazing. But I think it's going to be out of the Western Conference, whoever wins it. But I'm liking Golden State, but Miami's got just a few holes, I think.
Yeah, who's been playing really good ball too is the Boston Celtics. I'm not saying that they're going to make a run to the finals here, but and it is our home team, so to speak. And I'm not trying to be a homer, but they've been playing some pretty good basketball. You know what I mean? So
Tatum's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
In his last 5 to 10 games, he's been unstoppable. I mean, he looks like Kobe Bryant out there. He's hitting everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's like MVP type of stuff. I mean, he's not going to win the MVP, but he's playing like one. So okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's go to the ice. All right. What do you got for an NHL spotlight play for everybody tonight?
Okay, the game I'm watching tonight, I got Washington Capitals at Vancouver Canucks. Washington Capitals are coming up their last game. They lost the Oilers 4-3. The last 10 games for the Washington, they've been 5-5. Nothing great. They got the second wild card berth, so I think they kind of walked into that. Vancouver, they're coming off a 3-game win streak. They beat the Habs the other night 5-3. Their last 10 games, they're 8-2. But the people that are paying the money for this ticket, they're coming to see Ovechkin for Washington and JT Miller for Vancouver. JT Miller, 11 of his last 12 games, he has a point. He's been on fire. He's got like 67 points, 23 goals, and Ovechkin. He's got 36 goals and 70 points. Everyone says he was an old man, and he's dealing with a lot of stuff. However you feel about this, I know everybody feels about what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, but he's got a lot of pressure on him. Whether it's fair or not fair, you can make your judgment on that. But there's still, he's dealing with that. They got Washington's got that solid defenseman, John Carlson. He's got 47 points. And a guy that people don't. The only time we ever talk about him is when he does something stupid. But he's a solid player, Tom Wilson.
He is.
He's got 18 biscuits this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid can play. If he's on your team, you love him. If he's not on your team, you don't like him. He's an old 70s or early 80s hockey player.
Yeah.
And he does make mistakes. And Vancouver, they get that young defenseman, born in Orlando, Florida, Quinn Hughes. He's got 45 points, 22-year-old kid. He's really improved this year in the plus. The last few years he's been kind of like negative, but this year he's up to a +9, so that means he's playing both ends of the ice. So I'm taking, with this game, I'm taking the Vancouver Canucks minus the 110. I'm also going over 6. I think it's going to be a little bit of a shootout. I do think it's going to be over 6. And I do get a prop bet. It's a lot of money. It's minus 245. JT Miller scoring a point. I just said it. He scored a point 11 out of the last 12 games. I find it hard to believe that he's not going to at least get a assist here tonight. So that's what I like.
Yeah, no, go with the hot hand. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And yes, we don't get too political either way here, but Ovechkin, you're right. He's dealing with some issues because he's Russian, and he won't condemn. He can't condemn.
Exactly.
I mean, his family is still in Russia. I mean, what's he supposed to do? Talk against Putin, and then maybe repercussions against his family that's literally living there. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't want war, right? I mean, come on.
Right.
But he's got to just keep his mouth kind of shut because he's got family in there. You know what I mean? So I mean, listen, it's I don't wish anything bad on him or his family, and I understand people are going to boo him right now, but I don't think they understand the position he's really in.
Is there a worse place he could play right now than Washington, D.C.?
No.
I mean, think about it.
I know. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for him. But again, he gets on the ice, he kind of forgets about it, and he just keeps putting up numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right. My play tonight in the NHL, my spotlight play, I've got the Winnipeg Jets on the road, travel to take on the New York Islanders. All right, the Islanders, they're a minus 125 favorite at home. Goals total set at 6. The Jets, they come into this game 26, 22, and 10 overall. Winners their last two hockey games. Matter of fact, last night had a very nice road win at New Jersey. Knocked off the Devils 2-1. That's a tough place to play, Jimmy D.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You can't win there.
No. Now they're, I think they're 6 or 7 points out of a wild card spot. So they're scrapping right now. Every point counts because they're out of the playoffs. They're golfing right now in another month or two. But they're
gone fishing.
Yeah, gone fishing, right. Kyle Connor, he's been their bright spot this year. 35 goals. He's been lighting the lamp quite a bit. He's got 30 assists also. The Islanders, 22, 24, 8 on the season. A little disappointing for them. 12, 12, and 4 at home. Now, they've played some pretty good hockey. They winners 2 out of their last 3. Last night, it was light the lamp night, I guess, for the Islanders. They scored 6 goals and shut out Columbus. I mean, that's hard to do. 6-0 sent the Blue Jackets packing, as they say. Anders Lee had a hat trick, and that was his first career hat trick. This guy scored a lot of goals, but I don't know. That's pretty good. First hat trick. Good for Anders. You know what I mean? So now they're about 20 points out of the playoffs. So I don't know if this season is done, but it's getting close, right? I mean, it's going to be hard to leapfrog. I think there's 5 or 6 teams ahead of them, but you know what? They're still playing scrappy hockey. They don't score a lot of goals, 2.6 a game. They're letting up 2.7, hence, you can see their record. Tonight, I got to go with the home team. I know the Islanders are not the best team, but they played some good hockey. Last night, they put up 6 biscuits in the basket. I'm going to go with the hot hand. I'm going to go with the Islanders tonight. As far as the goal total, though, I'm going to go under 6. I think Winnipeg, this is a back-to-back to them. Maybe some tired legs. So I'm going to go under 6 goals here. But give me the Islanders minus 125 to win this hockey game. Now, before we put a wrap on tonight's show, all right, I'm just going to go right to the NHL futures, Jimmy D. You got Colorado, favorite right now to win the Cup. Behind them, Tampa Bay Lightning. Got the Florida Panthers, Calgary Flames, Vegas Golden Knights, Maple Leafs, Bruins are 8th favorite. Anybody, right now, if you're going to put down a couple pennies, who do you got right now? Obviously, you can change, but who you liking right now to
right now? This trade line still going on. I got to go with Tampa. They won 2 in a row. They know what it takes. So right now, I would take them. But Florida's up there too. But I just today, I'm taking Tampa.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to lean on Tampa with you. Beginning of the season, I had the big bad Bruins taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Bruins, they still got, they're playing some.
Chance.
The Edmonton Oilers, man, they've been a little bit disappointing. Now, are they going to make the playoffs? Yes. Could they make a run? Yes. But right now, that play isn't looking so smart. But I did have the Oilers and the Bruins going to the Cup. So.
Well, yeah, you got the right province of Canada, right? Alberta, but you might need to change that to Calgary, right?
You never know. So, all right. Anyways, Jimmy D, great picks tonight. Thanks for being on board 7 and a Hook tonight for Free for All Friday. We're gonna head to the exits, folks. So that's gonna put a wrap on tonight's picks and plays. Take the picks and go cash some ticks. So listen, on behalf of everybody here at the 7 and a Hook podcast, we hope you have a great night. And as we always say, may your bad beats be small and your big wins be monster.
Thanks again for tuning in to the 7 and a Hook podcast. Until next time, may your bad beats be small and your big wins be monster.